This is altogether fresh batch. We will start with the paper 1, unit 1 from the very beginning. So first of all, I welcome you all for the new batch. So this is for November 10th batch, which is altogether new. We will be starting from unit number 1 onwards. Paper 1, unit 1. What all I will be providing, just I will give a brief overview and I will start the subject. We didn't promise mind maps, but in the last 20 days I prepared mind maps for every unit. So for every unit, apart from the classes, mind maps also I will be giving after the completion of the unit, which will be helpful to you like a quick revision. Okay, and apart from that, there will be 2 hours of class, 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. religiously, 6 p.m. to 7:45 p.m. I believe in explanation, but this is my personal belief. I believe in explanation. My personal belief, a teacher should explain more and the students should listen more. What they listen, they have to write. This had worked since last 13-14 years. So I give the ready-made printout notes which I will be teaching on the interactive panel, so that you will be having the printout of the same. After taking the printout of the same, you can read the same, or if you write in your own words how you understood, it would be also very good. I will be checking your notes if you had written and if you want me to look into your notes. Why? Because see, dictation of notes is good only, but what happened, it's like dictating, I am dictating, you are writing, there is no improvement. But if you listen and if you get the ready-made notes and after going home when you are doing revision, if you write again, it is like something you are rewriting. It is something like you are doing revision. So 6 p.m. to 7:45 p.m. I will be explaining the class, I will explaining the subject. 7:45 p.m. to 8 p.m. I will be giving daily one question on the topic which I discussed. It will be a PYQ. And you will be writing the answer and you will be submitting on the same day. So in that way I will be giving a printout of the question from tomorrow onwards. Today the subject will be taught and tomorrow I will be giving a printout, question space, and you have to write the answers and you have to submit on the same day. Will be evaluated and will be given next day. And the class will start sharply 6:05. So class will start at 6. But for adjustment of yours and our mic and all, 6:05 will happen, and 6:05 we will start the class. And the pattern of the modules which I will be teaching from November 10th is, first I will complete anthropology subject, means anthropology, introduction to anthropology is unit number 1, evolution of man, archaeology, then socio-cultural anthropology, then anthropological thought. Then we will be having tribal India, then we will be having Indian society, then we will be having physical anthropology. Like this we will be going. By February 28th, the subject will be completed properly. For every topic in the syllabus, for every topic in the unit, you will be having a minimum 10 points which you understood. Means you will be also understanding the same. So for every topic in the subject, 10 points you will be getting. So nothing will be left, everything will be taught in the classroom. And 5 materials will be given. Number 1, my classroom notes PDF, number 1. Number 2, complete anthropology published by McGraw-Hill's textbooks will be given to you. And PYQs with model answers, textbooks. From 2015 to 2025, PYQs with model answers books will be given to you. So 3 contents happen. Every Sunday compulsory there will be religiously test. For that test you will be given with the model answers, with value added content for every unit. 5th, you will be given 1500 case studies. Already 1000 has been ready. Last week I completed one more 150. You will be given 1500 case studies. So these 1500 case studies are current affairs oriented. Apart from that, if you want to read monthly anthropology current affairs magazine I am providing, it is free for all. These all are only for you. Remaining all free for it, free for all anthropology current affairs monthly magazine. So this 5 contents, apart from mind maps and any doubts you have, I will be sharing my number, my personal number. Any doubt, any point of time, you can reach me out. And extra we added, which was not there 6 months back. That is, one extra mentor also will be there. 2 mentors are there extra. One is before 6 months only I was there, but with me there is Fakresh sir who went to UPSC interview, Varsha madam, senior mentor. So 3 people are there for anthropology, not one single faculty. Me, with me, 2 other faculties. I will be the main faculty, I will be the person who will be taking care of you. Other than that, if you have some simple doubts or some funny doubts which you feel too shy to ask me, you can also reach them also. One person will be in the first floor in operations room, she is Varsha madam. Another person will be in the content room in the second floor in faculty room. So I am giving you the disclaimer, I am explaining you what are all we are providing you, so that you will be having the clarity. If you miss, you can go to the recorded video lecture 1 and you can cross check and you can question me. So I believe in transparency. So what are all I can give you, what is my strength, those all I am telling in the initial class itself. I am informing you in the initial class. And if for the 4 months, if you are consistent, if you are constant, then 100% you will be getting the confidence that yes sir, I will be getting 280 marks. I don't promise 300 marks. Yes sir, I can cross 280 marks. More 20 marks depends upon your answer writing skills, your English language, your sentence formation, your basic skills. That is inherent in you, that you should develop. That is inside. How you connect from one paragraph to another paragraph, how you add examples, which I explain in the classroom, those are skills, inbuilt skills that you need to develop. If that also you possess, 300 marks is not a big thing in anthropology. And for 2025 mains, 104 students written mains, and we are expecting the results of 2025 mains, and I did reflections of 2025 mains also. We visited the examination center of mains also, so that our students who are in the June batch, they came with me to the examination center. They also had first hand information of how the students are writing mains examination, and we did the review then and there. So these all things will be provided. Apart from it, 1 year you will be having accessibility. 1 year you can come any number of times to the classes. Mentorship will be given lifelong. Lifelong means till you are in UPSC field with respect to anthropology only. Okay. So everything, whatever I am informing now, I will abide by it. It is the first lecture, so it will be recorded, it will be there. These are all the things I am going to provide. Any doubts you can ask me later. So anthropology is all about what? Anthropology is all about understanding about ourselves. Anthropology is all about understanding ourselves. My audio is clear, right, Salman? Anthropology is all about understanding about ourselves, knowing about ourselves, how we behave, how we act, how we evolved. So anthropology is a study about man in a holistic way, understanding the man. Anthropology is about understanding about the man in different geographies, means how man evolved in Africa, how man evolved in Asia, how man evolved in America, how man evolved in different geographies. That understanding of biology, biological evolution of man, we will be doing in this particular anthropology, number 1. So what? Biological evolution of man. Again I am telling, biological evolution of man means not what is happening inside the man. It is about how man evolved from quadrupedalism. From quadrupedalism, how he became knuckle walker. From knuckle walker, how he became bipedal. And from bipedal, how he became erect posture. So this is called as biological evolution. We will not go deeper into the biology. We will having a helicopter view. We will having a general view of evolution of man biologically. So first we will be understanding about biological evolution of man. Second evolution of man, which we will study in anthropology, is cultural evolution of man. How man evolved culturally. How man understood the importance of marriage. How marriage came into existence, how family came into existence, how economic systems came into existence, how political systems came into existence, why man is believing religion, why man is so much passionate about supernatural powers, whether really supernatural powers are having the power to control the nature, What is the role of religion in individual's life? These all are called as cultural evolution of man. How man evolved from savagery to barbarism to civilization. Manishi, barbaric stage, from barbaric stage to civilized. How barbaric to savagery, or from savagery to barbarism to civilization. What is this process of evolution? How this man had been evolved? These all things we will be discussing in anthropology. In simple language, sir, can you tell me in one sentence what is anthropology, sir? So what we will be studying in anthropology? Can you tell me in one sentence? It's simple. Biological evolution of man and cultural evolution of man, which we study in anthropology. Anthropology is nothing but biological evolution of man and cultural evolution of man. ఈ మనిషి అనేవాడు ఎవాల్వ్ అయ్యాడు, ఎలా ఎవాల్వ్ అయ్యాడు బయోలాజికల్గా, ఎలా ఎవాల్వ్ అయ్యాడు కల్చరల్గా చదివేటటువంటి సబ్జెక్ట్ పేరే ఆంథ్రపాలజీ. సో ఆంథ్రపాలజీ ఈజ్ అబౌట్ స్టడింగ్ అబౌట్ మ్యాన్స్ ఇన్ఫినిట్ క్యూరియాసిటీ. ఆంథ్రపాలజీ ఈజ్ ఆల్ అబౌట్ స్టడింగ్ అబౌట్ మ్యాన్స్ ఇన్ఫినిట్ క్యూరియాసిటీ. మ్యాన్ ఈజ్ హ్యావింగ్, వీఆర్ హ్యావింగ్ సో మెనీ క్యూరియాసిటీస్. That how we evolved in this pattern, how we evolved bipedal, why we are erect, why marriage is so serious, why family is so serious, why we have to take marriage so seriously, what are different economic systems, what are different political systems, how these all things got evolved. We will be so much passionate, or we will be so much curious to know about this evolution. So infinite curiosity. Whatever the man is coming across, whatever the man is noticing, whatever is surrounded around the man is studied in anthropology. Man and surroundings of man is studied in anthropology. I am giving you different definitions. Man and surrounding of man, man and man's infinite curiosity, these all things are studied in anthropology. Is a study of origin, how man got evolved, how man got developed, what is the nature of human species. Means what? Three things. Man is three things: man's origin, man's development, man's nature. How man evolved, how man developed, what is the nature of man, means what is the behavior of the man. Fourth understanding: man, infinite curiosity, man and surrounding, man biological and cultural. Fourth is what? Man's origin, man's development and man's nature. Anthro means man, pology means study. Study of man is called as anthropology. So what we will study about man, sir? Man's origin, man's development, man's surroundings, man's behavior, man's environment, man's ecosystem. Each and every aspect of man, each and every aspect of man which man comes across will be studied in anthropology. UPSC interview question: what you studied in anthropology? For every 3 students who attend UPSC interview by anthropology optional, compulsory they will have 5 to 6 minutes on anthropology subject. One of the common subject is what you studied in anthropology, what is all about anthropology. Anthropology is all about studying about man's origin, man's development and man's nature. It is not only about human beings but also about study of human beings living in societies and their lifestyles which are labeled as. So it is not only about you, it is not only about me, it is about me and my surroundings. It is about me and my living nature. It is about me how I live. It is about me what are my systems. It is about me what are my cultures. So these all things also will be studied in anthropology. So anthropology is not only about human beings, also about human being in the society, human being in the cultural systems. It is the study of man, society, culture, environment, human psychology and human biology. So that means man's biology, man's social condition, man's cultural condition, man's environment, man's psychology. So these are all being surroundings. These all constitute anthropology. How is man linked to biology? How biologically evolved? Man linked to society, man linked to culture, man linked to environment, man linked to psychology, man linked to surroundings. That each and every aspect where man is associated with will be studied in anthropology. Who is the father of anthropology? Aristotle is the father of anthropology. The term anthropology has been coined by Aristotle. So you are entering into the subject. That subject was been coined by Aristotle, and the father of anthropology is Aristotle. Anthropology is defined as a discipline of infinite curiosity about human beings, seeks answers to enormous questions about human beings. Anthropology will give answers. Anthropology will give answers for the enormous questions which were been logically put. Anthropology will give answers to the questions which were been unanswered up to now. So anthropology itself is a solution. Anthropology itself is an answer sheet. Anthropology itself is a model answer. Anthropology itself is a key paper for those questions which are been put on man, put about man. So anthropology is a solution. That is the reason very quickly anthropology has been developed. Anthropology has been evolved. Why? Because initially anthropology was studied like we people what we thought. Anthropology is about understanding the biological evolution of man. No. Anthropology is about biological evolution of man. Anthropology is about cultural evolution of man. Anthropology is about social evolution of man. Anthropology is called environment evolution. So this is all context. So hence anthropology, which was unilateral in nature, finally became multidimensional in nature. Which was uniform, now it became diverse. ఒకప్పుడు ఓన్లీ మ్యాన్ ఎలా ఎవాల్వ్ అయ్యాడో చదివేటటువంటి ఆంథ్రపాలజీ సబ్జెక్ట్, టుడే ఆంథ్రపాలజీ హ్యాస్ బీన్ ఎవాల్వ్డ్ ఇన్ టు మల్టీ డిసిప్లిన్, స్టడింగ్ ఈచ్ అండ్ ఎవ్రీ ఆస్పెక్ట్ వేర్ మ్యాన్ హ్యాస్ బీన్ లింక్డ్. So you are understanding that today, anthropology is all about understanding each and every aspect where man is associated with. Anthropology is all about giving answers for the questions which were been logically put. Anthropology is subject which studies about infinite curiosity about man. So how it evolved? So initially Aristotle gave the name, but the subject was been not developed. It took lot of time. 14th and 17th century. Between 14th and 17th century, the subject started developing, the subject started evolving. Between 14th and 17th century, it is about physical and moral well-being. In this time, the anthropology was been developing as what? Physical and moral being. How man evolved physically, how man evolved morally was been studied from 14th century to 17th century. So the subject was been given by Aristotle somewhere around. But later, the original subject got evolved from 14th century onwards. 14th to 17th century, anthropology evolved as what? Physical understanding and moral understanding. Physical evolution and moral evolution. Means what? Physically how he evolved. Morally how he evolved. Why he is committed to the society. Why he is committed to the culture. So 14th to 17th century, mainly it is bothered about physical and moral being. 18th and 19th century, what more added? Social and culture in detail. How he is living in the society. Why seriously he is taking culture. Yes or no, we are taking seriously culture. Like this only marriage should happen. Like this only people should live. Like this only behavior should be there. When our father comes, how we should behave. When mother comes, how we should behave. That behavior itself is called as culture. The rules and regulations itself is called as culture. So from 14th century to 17th century, it was about understanding physical and moral being. From 18th and 19th century, it is about social and cultural aspects of man. Then by the time of 20th century, the discipline became multi-dimensional. Each and every aspect of man started studying. That means 14th to 17th it was limited. 18th, 19th, what added to it? Social and cultural aspect. By 20th century it became multi-dimensional. Means what? Each and every aspect where man was involved became part of anthropology. So we are understanding about the evolution of anthropology subject. So how the discipline of anthropology has been evolved. Yes, the term was been coined by someone called as Aristotle, but the subject originally evolved from 14th century, from 14th to 17th century, 18th, 19th century, 20th century onwards, it became a full-fledged multi-dimensional. The question will be like this: write about anthropology and how the discipline of anthropology evolved. Write about anthropology and how the discipline of anthropology evolved. Anthropology is all about studying about the man, about his infinite curiosity, giving answers to the questions which are logically put, studying about the man in social, cultural, economical, environmental aspects. That is called as anthropology. Anthropology term was been coined by Aristotle. Anthropology, father of anthropology was Aristotle, and the term was been coined by Aristotle. And the evolution of the discipline, 14th to 17th century, man was been studied physically and morally. 18th and 19th century, social and cultural aspects were added to it. By the time of 20th century, the anthropology became. Write about anthropology and evolution of nature and scope of anthropology. So what is a scope? What is a scope? The scope of online education, if I talk about. What is the scope of online education? Global, sir. Wherever the man is located across the world. If he is living in Africa, if he is living in America, if I had internet, he can watch the class. That is the scope of internet. Similarly, what is the scope of anthropology? The scope of anthropology is holistic. Studying about man in all the contexts is called as holistic. The scope. What is the scope? The point of the scope is what? Anthropology is holistic in nature. Study of human beings or groups in entire pattern of their life. So in his life, what are all the things are happening? What are all the things which should happen? This all if I study, that I will study in anthropology. Hence the scope of anthropology is what? Holistic. Second, scope of anthropology is what? Historical. Whether we are understanding from evolution point of view, or whether we are understanding only today. We are understanding evolution point of view. So hence anthropology is what? Historical. You know why anthropology is interesting? Simple one line I will tell you. You got rank. I am interviewing you. And the viewers are watching your video. If I ask the question, how you prepared, how you got the rank? You answered in your own format. Another video I made with you, same. What is your where your birth happened, where your schooling happened, where your intermediate happened, where your degree happened, who motivated you to prepare for civil services, what was your motivation to prepare for civil services, how you prepared and how you cracked. Views will come more for first video or second video. If it is good, then only, no. So anthropology is all about the same. Everything understanding from the perspective of evolution. How marriage evolved, how family evolved, how religion evolved, how man evolved, how environment evolved. Everything we will be understanding from evolution point of view. Hence the scope of anthropology is historical. First one is what? Holistic. Each and every aspect where man is associated with will be studied in anthropology. Everything we will be understanding from chronological order point of view. Hence it is called as historical. And third is comparative. See, if only one person is writing the exam, I evaluated the copy and I gave 150 marks out of 250 marks. Or I gave 10 marks out of 250 marks. He is the topper in the batch, yes or no? Why? Because how many students are there? One student. Another student is there, another person written 20 marks he got. Then I can understand who is the topper and who is the last. Means what? When I compare, I can understand properly. When I compare, I understand properly, or when I understand individually, I will understand properly. When I compare. So anthropology will compare. Anthropology will explain about how marriages are there in India, how marriages are there in Asia, how political systems are there in Africa, how political systems are there in India. Means comparisons will happen. So third nature is what? Third scope is what? Comparative. So anthropology scope is three: holistic, historical, comparative. So everything we will understanding holistically, everything we will be understanding evolutionary, everything we will be comparing, so that we will understand each and every aspect of man very clearly. If you understand, if I explain the classes from the beginning, you will understand easily. Hence historical. If I cover all the units, holistic. If I compare social, political, economically, and if I teach, you will understand. So anthropology is also very interesting. It is because of historical nature, because of its holistic nature, because of its comparative nature. So what is the scope? Anthropology is concerned with all human beings, past and present, with all their works and activities. It is a combination of holistic, combination of historical, combination of comparative. So second part you are understanding. First part I explained you about the origin of anthropology, and I explained about development of anthropology 14th to 17th century, 18th to 19th century, 20th century. Now I am explaining what is the scope of anthropology. The scope of anthropology is holistic, the scope of anthropology is historical, the scope of anthropology is comparative. Anthropology explanations are not just limited to any particular group of human beings or any single period of history. Earlier anthropologists concentrated only on non-Western civilizations, and now the scope covers all the cultures. Again, understand, nothing. Earlier anthropology was been studying about African societies only, and how the man evolved in African societies were been studied. Means what? Non-Western societies were been studied in the beginning. How man evolved. So man generally evolved, you have a notion, you have an idea that man evolved generally from where? Africa. So first scope of study was African society, which is called as non-Western society. Then what they understood, man evolved for the first time in African society, which is called as non-Western society. Then I can understand how he evolved when compared to other societies. How he evolved from other societies, if I compare, then I can come to conclusion that how the evolution happened. So comparisons are between Western and non-Western. So earlier it was only studied about non-Western. Now they are also covering what? Western society. So third point, the study started with what? The study started with what? Non-Western. Now they reached what? Western societies. When I reached Western, what I will do? I will compare how man was there in Africa, how man is there in Asia, how man was there in Africa, how man is there in Europe. Then I can come to conclusion that how the man evolved in Africa. Anthropology is a study of everything that is related to man, human beings, from biological orientation to cultural systems, and how both influence it. So I am concluding now. So first I explained you about what is anthropology. Anthropology is about studying about man and each and every aspect of man. Anthropology is about infinite curiosity about man. Anthropology is about how man is linked with social, political, economical, cultural, all the aspects of man. And anthropology was been coined by Aristotle. Anthropology father is Aristotle. This we understood. Then we came for scope. What we are going to understand, what is the scope of anthropology? Anthropology is holistic, anthropology is historical, anthropology is comparative. And 14th to 17th century it is about physical existence and moral existence. 18th to 19th it is with respect to social and cultural aspects. By 20th century it became. And finally, I should simplify now in the conclusion. I am concluding now. So anthropology is nothing but biological evolution. Anthropology is nothing but cultural evolution. These both evolutions will be studied in anthropology, and we will also understand the biological influence to cultural evolution, cultural influence to biological. So biocultural evolution we will be studying in anthropology. Finally is what? Biocultural evolution means how man evolved biologically, how man evolved culturally. Means this everyone should know. Everyone should know about this. Why, sir? Mana evolution, manam ela evolve, how we evolved. We should know. How we got culture, we should know, no. Why we are behaving like this, we should know, no. Why we should behave like this, we should know. These all things will be explained in anthropology. మన గురించి మనం తెలుసుకునే శాస్త్రమే ఆంథ్రపాలజీ. సో దిస్ ఇస్ అబౌట్ మీనింగ్, స్కోప్, నేచర్ ఆఫ్ ఆంథ్రపాలజీ. దెన్ డెవలప్మెంట్ ఆఫ్ ఇట్ ఈస్ ఇనిషియల్లీ డెవలప్డ్ ఇన్ వెస్టర్న్ వరల్డ్. ఈ సబ్జెక్ట్ ఆంథ్రపాలజీ సబ్జెక్ట్, this subject was been initially developed in Western world by studying whom? Non-Western. Understand this. This subject was been developed by whom? Westerners. By studying whom? Non-Westerns. Initial anthropologists all are European anthropologists, which means Western anthropologists. And they studied themselves, or they studied Africans, which means non-Western. But now it is spread to all parts of the world because of its multi-dimensional studies, which is holistic, historical and comparative. So the initial anthropologists were being from West by studying non-West. Now this initial anthropologists, they diversified across the world. Now anthropologists are there. The wings of anthropology has been spread across the world, mainly because of its scope. The scope is holistic, historical and comparative. There are certain specialized methodologies, methods and techniques which have been developed and adopted in anthropology. First one is synchronic approach, other one is diachronic approach. Synchronic approach is nothing but studying different geographies at a particular time. 5,000 years back, how the man was in Africa, how the man was in Europe, how the man is in India. So we will be having synchronic approach. Iday time ki, at the same time, how the man was there, how the man is here, how the man is. Diachronic approach, from 5,000 to today, how man evolved in Africa, how man evolved in West, how man evolved in India. It is called as what? Diachronic approach. So we are going to have two approaches in anthropology, that is synchronic approach and diachronic approach. Because of this approach, anthropology has been widespread into different disciplines of sociology, history, medical science and geography. So because of its wider approach, because of its holistic approach, because of its historical approach, because of its comparative approach, what happened? It spread across. Anthropology is present in medical science, anthropology is present in geography, anthropology is present in sociology, anthropology is present in humanities. Each and every subject now, anthropology has been there. Hence we call anthropology as a multi-dimensional subject. So the modern methods like participant observation, emic view, etic view and field works further strengthened the anthropology. Overall, initially anthropology was subdiscipline of sociology, but because of its nature, scope and development, anthropology evolved as a unique discipline competing with sociology. So this is the conclusion of the subject. So what I want to conclude is, first we understood 1.1. First you are understanding what is anthropology is all about. After this class, if you go to hostel and when you are eating food with your friends, so you attended the first class. Which class you attended? I attended anthropology class. First question what will come from your friend's mouth? What is anthropology? So anthropology is nothing but studying about man in different contexts. It can be evolutionary, it can be everything, it can be comparative. Technically called as holistic, historical and comparative. It will be studying about man in social setup, man in cultural setup, man in environment, man in political system. So each and every aspect where man is involved will be studied in anthropology. Man studies everything which logically a question has been put on man. The answer will be given by anthropology. Any question which is been asked logically, the answer we will get from which subject? Anthropology. Oh, that is your anthropology. Then how the subject evolved? The father of anthropology is Aristotle. The term is coined by anthropology. Then from 14th century, the evolution of some discipline has been done. From 14th to 17th century, we only studied about physical and moral existence. In 18th and 19th, we added social aspects and cultural aspects. From 20th century, each and every aspect we started studying. Hence, anthropology is multidimensional. What are the approaches which are there in anthropology? Synchronic approach and diachronic approach. Synchronic approach, man will be studied. Man will be studied in different geographies, and but at one particular point it is called as synchronic approach. Man will be studied in different geographies at different times. It is called as diachronic approach. There are new approaches. There are new approaches like what? Participant observation. What is this? Listen. Anthropologist, one of the main duty will be going to a tribal community and studying about their way of living. That is one of the major function of anthropologist. He will go to one tribal community, he will stay there, he will participate with them, he will be being like one among them, and he will be studying them, by which he will be understanding their setup, cultural setup, social setup. Staying with them and getting the data is called as participant observation. Emic view and etic view. So when he is participating with them, understand this. For example, I want to study you. I want to understand how your behavior is there. I want to study how you people are being, your mental setups are there. How your mindsets are there if I want to study you. Whether if I study from outside, I can know you, or if I come near you and sit with you and stay with you for 5 to 6 months and be like one of friend with you, then I can know more about you. That particular approach is called as participant observation. Emic approach. I will be like you, I will be like one among you, and I will be understanding from your view. It is called as emic approach. Etic approach. I will just see from you and I will make a judgment. It is called as etic approach. So these many approaches are there in the process of studying the societies, in the process of understanding the cultures. Hence the subject became more wider. Different approaches are there, different methods are there in understanding the societies, like participant observation, emic approach and etic approach. See, participant observation means I will go and I will participate with them. Judgment is what? The judgment can be anything. But in that participant observation, two views are there. One is emic view, other is etic view. Emic view means when I understand from their mind point of view, if I understand from their perspective, it is called as emic view. When I am doing participant observation, I can sit alike and I can judge myself and I can make a view of you from my point of view. It is called as etic view. To have a emic view, to have a etic view, what I have to do first? Participant observation. So these all things made anthropology a multidiscipline. Anthropology historical, anthropology comparative, anthropology holistic, and these all things made anthropology a combination of biological evolution and cultural evolution. Hence, in simple word, anthropology is understanding about biocultural evolution. This is anthropology. This is all about anthropology. This is a favorite question for UPSC. What is anthropology? What are the approaches in anthropology? How anthropology knows about man? What are the things which, what are the scope of anthropology? The scope of anthropology is what? Holistic, historical and comparative. The question will be very direct. Write about anthropology and its scope. So what is anthropology? You will write. You will draw one diagram which I drawn now. The diagram you will draw. And you will write the scope of anthropology. It was just an introduction which is there in the syllabus. 1.2 Introduction to Anthropology. Meaning, scope and discipline, meaning, scope and development of anthropology. Second is 1.2 Relationship with other disciplines. అంటే anthropology with sociology, anthropology with medical science, anthropology with psychology, behavioral science, anthropology with humanities, anthropology with earth sciences. Anthropology ki unnu sociology ku ఉన్నటువంటి సంబంధం. What is the relationship between anthropology and sociology? What is the relationship between anthropology and psychology? So what all you understood up to now? Anthropology studies about what? Biological evolution of man. cultural understanding, social setup, social way of living, environmental conditions and man. Environmental conditions and man. More? Cycle, very good. Behavioral, which is called as behavioral. See, now you see, behavior means what? Psychology. Social means what? Sociology. Environment means what? Earth sciences. And political also. In political nature also, it is called as polity. So each and every perspective of anthropology with other discipline. How anthropology with biology, how anthropology with social, how anthropology with psychology, how this all we will be studying now, which is called as relationship with other disciplines. First is what? Social science. Anthropology with social science. Social science is nothing but what? Sociology. Sociology, what we will study, you will get it out. Sir, what is the difference between anthropology and sociology, sir? Sociology studies about human behavior in groups. Sociology studies about what? Human behavior in groups. How man is behaving in the group. How man behaves in the home, how man behaves in the society. In the home, Ramudu Manchibaludu, and outside, he is very dangerous boy. Means how man is behaving in the groups. That aspect we will be studying in sociology. Whereas anthropology studies about what is his behavior and what is his behavior in the group. What is making him to behave like that will be studied in anthropology. Means reasoning will be studied in anthropology. Sociology only studies about his behavior. Ila behave chestunnadu. Idi ayana behavior. Whereas anthropology find the reasoning behind it. What might be the reason for his behavior in the home and in outside. So sociology studies human behavior in groups. It is a science of society, whereas anthropology is a study of man, which studies about human behavior in social surroundings. Two things. So man, sociology, how he is behaving in the group. Anthropology, how he is behaving in the group and what might be the reason behind it, we will be studying in anthropology. One difference you got. We are understanding the relationship. Relationship means what? Similarities and differences. It studies about society, whereas anthropology deals about society as well as man. Second difference. Anthropology studies only about societies. Indian society, Muslim society, Christian society. What is the values of Muslim society? What is the values of Hindu society? Society's point of view we will be studying in sociology. In anthropology we will study society as well as man, individual. Second difference. What is the first one? Sociology studies about how he is behaving in the groups. Anthropology studies about how he is behaving in the groups and what is motivating him to behave such. Second, sociology studies about groups only, whereas anthropology studies about groups as well as man, individuals, which means individuals. Deals about primitive society and modern societies. We are understanding more difference. We are establishing what? Relationship with social science. Anthropology ku sociology ku unnatuvanti relationship. So whether sociology is good or anthropology is good. What is sociology? What is anthropology? What is psychology? What is anthropology? What is earth sciences? What is anthropology? Like this, they made a relationship so that the readers, the people who are taking anthropology subject, they will be knowing, oh, this is called as sociology, this is called as anthropology. So they will come to a wide understanding, oh, this I am going to study in anthropology. First difference is what? Sociology studies about man's behavior in the group. Anthropology studies about man's behavior in the group and why he is behaving such. Second, anthropology studies only about groups. Sociology studies only about groups. Anthropology studies about groups and Individual. And again, anthropology studies about primitive societies and modern societies, whereas sociology studies only modern societies. Sociology studies only today. What is today? How the systems are there today. Whereas anthropology studies about today and yesterday. Why? Because if you want to know today properly, first you should understand yesterday. So primitive societies and modern societies both are studied in anthropology. Only modern societies are studied in. That is the reason we tell what? Anthropology is evolution. Anthropology is evolution. Anthropology is historical. Sociology is not historical. Why? Because sociology only studies modern societies. Means today's societies. Anthropology generalized as well as specific. Whereas sociology is generalized. Sociology will be generalized, like this the people will be behaving. But anthropology, we will understand generalized, and we will also understand why his behavior is like that, which means specific as well. So anthropology general as well as specific. वो जनरल ఇలా బిహేవ్ చేయాలి అని చెప్తుంది అన్నమాట సోషాలజీ సబ్జెక్ట్. सब लोग ऐसा बिहेव करना है शादी होने के बाद. Anthropology will tell that yes, शादी के होने के बाद सब लोग everyone should behave like that. But why this fellow is behaving like this will also be added in anthropology. Anthropology will not give suggestions. Sociology will give suggestions. Means what? Anthropology will give idea. Anthropology is not judgmental. Anthropology will not judge. Anthropology will give information. Are you getting my point? Whereas sociology will be judgmental. Sociology will give suggestions like that you should be. Whereas anthropology will explain the conditions, anthropology will explain the situation, and anthropology will give enough information so that we will be making the judgment. So anthropology is less suggestive, sociology is more suggestive. Are you getting my point? For example, you ask me, sir, whether I want to give 2026 attempt or 2027 attempt. If you ask me, if I explain you what are the pros and cons of writing 2026, what are the pros and cons of 2027, then if I leave the judgment to you, then I am an anthropologist. If I am sociologist, no, you have to write in 2026, then I am called as sociologist. Suggestions will be given in sociology, information will be given in anthropology. There are various methods like participant observation, etic view, emic view in anthropology. There are collect data through surveys and statistical methods, then they will be extrapolated non-scientifically. So there are scientific methods in anthropology. There are extrapolation. Extrapolation and enti, we will study 10 people and we extrapolate. That type of surveys are there in sociology. From this, when we understand, anthropology seems to be more scientific when compared to sociology. Because of what reasons? Sociology is studying about society, anthropology is studying about society and individual. Sociology is studying about what is the behavior in the society, anthropology is studying about the behavior in the society as well as behavior of the individual. Sociology is more suggestive, anthropology is less suggestive. More generalized is sociology, less generalized in and specific in anthropology. Influence. Which anthropologist influence sociologist? Which sociologist influence anthropology? For example, Emile Durkheim, one of the famous sociologists. Emile Durkheim, one of the famous sociologists, influenced anthropology. Means what? Sociologists influenced anthropologists. అంటే a person who is a sociologist is also responsible for evolution of subject called as anthropologist. Means sociologist influenced anthropologist. Then more, sociology has taken ideas of cultural field studies, cultural apparatus, independent tools from anthropology and developed it. Now you see, sociology copied from anthropology. Sociology copied from anthropology. What sociology copied from anthropology? Cultural studies, cultural apparatus, participant observation. What are all the things which were been there in anthropology were been taken for studies in sociology, and the subject got developed. Which means what? Sociologist influenced anthropologist or anthropology, whereas the methods which are there in anthropology is copied by sociology. Means what we are understanding? Anthropology influenced sociology, sociology influenced So both influenced each other. So it is not the sociology responsible for anthropology, it is not anthropology which is responsible for sociology. Ralph Linton, Abram Gardiner, Julian Stewart contributed to sociology also, which means that these three are who? Anthropologists. How Emile Durkheim, a sociologist responsible for anthropology, similarly anthropology is also responsible for the growth of sociology. Ethic and emic view of Malnovisky is also used in sociology. Ethic view, emic view, participant observation, these are the methods which are there in anthropology. Now it is been copied into sociology. Means how the subject of sociology used by anthropology, how the subject of anthropology is used in sociology. For example, I will tell you, in 10th class intermediate we studied 4-year series. 4-year series we studied. Or for example, we studied differentiation, calculation, integration. Integration we studied the symbol. Calculus you studied calculus, integration. Now all the electronics engineers, whether they use integration or not, they use integration, which means mathematics influenced electronics. Mathematics influenced electronics. If I want to study medical science, first I have to study biology. So biology influenced medical science. If I want to treat a person biologically, then I should have knowledge on medical science. So how medical science influenced biology, how biology influenced medical science. Similarly, how sociology influenced anthropology, how anthropology influenced. Anthropology has helped sociology in disproving race. There is a concept called as racism, race. White people are superior, dark people are inferior, white people are great, dark people are weak. So this was the current problem which is there in Western world. Sociology was trying to prove that racism is wrong, but sociology could not prove it. In anthropology some approaches are there which helped sociology to disprove that racism is not correct. Means what? ఆంథ్రపాలజీలో ఉన్నటువంటి మోడల్స్ తీసుకున్నటువంటి సోషాలజీ, ఆంథ్రపాలజీలో ఉన్నటువంటి మోడల్స్ సోషాలజీ తీసుకొని సోషల్ ప్రాబ్లమ్స్ అయినటువంటి రేసిజం రాంగ్ అని ప్రూవ్ చేసింది. సో వాట్ యూజ్డ్ వాట్? ఆంథ్రపాలజీ యూజ్డ్ వాట్? ఆంథ్రపాలజీ వాస్ బీన్ యూజ్డ్ బై హూమ్? To disprove that racism is a problem. What is racism, sir? Listen. There are white people, there are black people. There are white people and black people. White people are called as superior, dark people are called as inferior. White people are called as superior, dark people are called as inferior. Anthropology, what it will tell? Man everywhere, biology is same. There is difference in color. Because of presence of melanin protein, absence of melanin protein. If melanin protein is less in me, then I will become fair. If melanin protein is more, then I will become dark. It depends upon environment. So color is not genetically transferred. Color is also influenced by environment. If we change environment, a dark person can also become little fair. A fair person can also become dark. This knowledge is present in which subject? Anthropology. So sociology copied which knowledge? Anthropology knowledge. That the color is not because of genetics, the color is also because of environment. Hence sociologists used the knowledge of anthropology to disprove racism. From this what we are understanding? So there is influence in both ways. Sociology influenced anthropology, anthropology influenced sociology. And finally, in the 19th century and early 20th century, anthropology was a subdiscipline of sociology. Because of its approach and efforts of Franz Boas, Malnovisky, R.C. Brown, W.H.R. Rivers, anthropology evolved as a separate discipline. So, when the subject evolved, anthropology was subfield of sociology. Anthropology was subfield of sociology because of its independent existence, because of efforts of anthropologists like W.H.R. Rivers, R.C. Brown, Franz Boas. Now, sociology is separate discipline and anthropology is separate. So, there is an independent existence. Once upon a time, the anthropology was part of sociology, but now anthropology is no more part of sociology. Anthropology itself is a separate discipline. Why it is there in your subject? You should question it. 2 decades, 3 decades back, anthropology was part of sociology. Anthropology was a sub-discipline of sociology. Then eventually what happened, because of its multidimensional nature, because of its approach, it got evolved independently. Now you should know that why anthropology has evolved independent. Now you tell me how anthropology has been evolved independently. Because of less suggestions, more suggestions. Studied about man and society, studied only about society. More scientific anthropology, less scientific sociology. And Emile Durkheim, a sociologist, influenced anthropologists. The methods which are present in anthropology was present in sociology. Anthropologists like Gardiner, Abram Gardiner, Julian Stewart, who are anthropologists, also worked for sociology. Finally, sociology used anthropology to disprove racism. From this, we come to a conclusion that yes, anthropology was once upon a time part of sociology. Because of its dynamic nature, it evolved itself as a separate discipline. Second, first, relationship of anthropology with sociology. Relationship with behavioral science. Listen, again. Psychology once upon a time very big subject, and lot of people used to take it as optional also, psychology. But slowly what happened? Anthropology was part of psychology, but anthropology evolved multidimensional in nature. Anthropology evolved multidimensional in nature such that when I can study the behaviors also as part of anthropology, then why I should take a separate course called as psychology? If I take anthropology, I can study social, political, economical, cultural plus behavioral, psychological. Then why I should take a separate course for psychology? Are you getting my point? So initially the psychology was a very big subject. It was studying about behavior. So anthropology was part of it. Later anthropology has been evolved as a multidimensional in nature. So anthropology got separated and became its own discipline. How we will discuss now. Association of anthropology with psychology springs from historical fact that anthropology initially a subdiscipline of psychology. Same like sociology. Same like sociology. In sociology what was present? Anthropology. Anthropology was subset of sociology. Similarly, in psychology also what was subset? Anthropology. But because of its multidimensional nature, now anthropology itself came out and working like a separate discipline. How and why we will discuss now. Who? Efforts of Franz Boas, E.B. Taylor, Malnovisky, anthropology became a separate discipline. The main contribution is from Culture Personality School because it made the basis for psychological anthropology. I will tell you. In anthropology, when we go deeper into the subject, there is a discipline called as Culture Personality School. Culture Personality School studies about how man behaves in a culture. How man behaves in a cultural setup. For example, I will tell you. What is our culture? Patriarchal culture. What is our culture? Patriarchal culture. What is Israel's culture? Egalitarian culture. There were two friends, the newborn baby or 1 year baby. 2 1-year babies are there. One boy came to India, another boy went to Israel. Both are living. Both age became 25 years. At the age of 25 years, the boy who got nature and nurture in India is behaving as if he is dominant and female as submissive. He is behaving that these are the activities which need to be done by male, these are the activities which need to be done by women. Whereas in Israel, 25 years same boy, who is brother, who lived there for 25 years, after 1 year, when they got separated, whereas there the Israeli boy is thinking that a man and woman both are born equal. She can actively participate in defense forces. She can actively participate in every activity. Only biologically we both are different. Apart from it, both are same. This is the notion of Israeli boy. Whereas an Indian boy, oh no, males are dominant, females are submissive. Means why till 1 year both are same, The next 24 years he lived here, next 24 years he lived here. Then what made this boy to behave like this? What made this boy to behave like this? Cultural setup. Means whether culture influences behavior or not. The culture behaved is influence or not. So in anthropology there is a school called as culture personality school. Culture will be influencing the personality. Culture is influencing personality means psychological aspect or which aspect? Psychological aspects. In anthropology we are studying about culture personality school. In a way it is also helping me to understand the psychological aspects. So hence psychological studies is also present in anthropology. When psychological studies is also present in anthropology, then why I should study separately psychology? I will study anthropology. So anyhow there is psychological studies also. Psychological studies also I will cover. Hence, psychology was subset of anthropology. Now the same psychological studies are present in anthropology. Then why anthropology should be part of psychology? Hence, anthropology became separate discipline. Why? Because not only psychology, multiple aspects are there. Hence, anthropology evolved very big and it grown up that much big that it dominated psychology and now anthropology is ruling. The main contribution is from culture personality school because it made the basis for psychological anthropology. Differences. Psychology mainly studies about behavioral patterns of complex societies and the modern man. Anthropology deals about behavioral patterns of modern man as well as simple societies. See, here you have to remember one. Whenever I use the word simple society, I am talking with respect to tribal societies. When I am using complex society, I am talking from mainstream society. If I use simple society means I am using tribal's point of view. If I am using complex society means I am talking mainstream point of view. Psychology studies only about modern man's behavior. Anthropology studies about modern man's behavior and primitive man's behavior. How tribal people behaviors are there and how urban people behaviors are there. But psychology studies only about urban people behavior. Subject of psychology is individual, whereas anthropology studies about societies, groups and individual. Psychology studies only about his behavior, that man's behavior, that individual man's behavior. Whereas anthropology studies about individual behavior, social behavior, group behavior. What is all holistic now? Anthropology. Psychology used to study why this man is behaving like this, man matrame. Whereas anthropology was studying about his individual behavior, his group behavior, his social behavior. So I can understand holistically. Psychology understands human learning, whereas anthropology studies about methods of teaching, methods of learning and rewards involved. What are the rewards involved? What are the various aspects of studies is studied in anthropology. Whereas in psychology it is only about human learning, how he is learning, that much limited aspect. Finally, experimentation is easy in psychology because it is individual, whereas in anthropology experimentation is difficult. It is not only individual but also. So from this what we are understanding, sir? Again, see, listen. In psychological studies, we study about individual behavior. Why you are behaving like this? What is making you to behave like this? For example, for your easy understanding, I will take this example multiple times so that you can connect with me. After marriage, one male or one female, why there is a commitment between them? Why they 100% commit to one boy or why they commit 100% to one girl? Individual point of view, when I study, it is called as psychology. In psychology they will tell just it's a commitment, so they live. But anthropology, what it will tell, there is not only commitment between individuals, the society is also telling them. The culture is also forcing them. The society is also telling them. The culture is also forcing them. Because of all these factors, their behavior is like this. Whereas psychology is telling that it's a commitment between two individuals. But anthropology is telling that it is not only commitment between two individuals, it is also societal rule. It is also cultural Compulsion, yes or no? If that boy or that girl, if they are not committed to each other, then the parents will come, then they will keep one panchayat, everyone will come, everyone will shout, and everyone, we came to your marriage, we ate food also, why you are doing like this, whether they will ask or not. Group point of view, culture point of view, we will understand in anthropology. Individual behavior point of view, that person's view, that we will study in. So individuals are studied, groups are studied, societies are studied. So what is holistic? Psychology or anthropology? Anthropology. Influence. The profounder of culture personality school is Ruth Benedict, Margaret Mead, Ralph Linton, Gardner, Cora Du Bois. They are the students of Sigmund Freud, who is a psychologist. There are a generation of anthropologists. There are 5 anthropologists who are very famous. You will come across them. But as of now, Ruth Benedict, Margaret Mead, Ralph Linton, Abram Gardner, Cora Du Bois, ఇలాంటి కొందరు ఆంథ్రపాలజిస్టులు ఉన్నారు who made culture personality school of anthropology popular, who studied about what is the personality in that culture, what is the behavior in that culture, was studied by the school called as culture personality school of anthropology. But finally they are the students of Sigmund Freud. Who is this Sigmund Freud? Psychologist. అరే సైకాలజిస్ట్ దగ్గర నేర్చుకొని వచ్చి మీరు సపరేట్ అవుతారా? ఫస్ట్ ఇన్ఫ్లుయెన్స్. మీ టీచరే సైకాలజిస్ట్, మీ టీచర్ దగ్గర నేర్చుకొని మీరే సపరేట్ అవుతారా? Influence is this all the next generation anthropologists who started studying psychology in anthropology point of view, they are the students of psychologists. Sigmund Freud is a very, very popular psychologist. These all are the students of Sigmund Freud, psychologist. Psychology influence behavioral studies in anthropology. Similarly, anthropology also influences psychology, that is how socialization, enculturation is reflected in individuals, that shows cultural behavior is influencing at individual level. Means what? Anthropology is also teaching sociology. Anthropology is telling, Are Babu, in psychology you are understanding only individual behavior, not that man. You should also study that why his behavior is such that. Why his behavior is like that? His behavior is like that because of cultural compassion. It is because of social fact. It is because of social setup. It is because of cultural setup. His behavior is there. That should also you should study. Anthropology is guiding psychology, whereas psychology is studying only individual behavior. But anthropology is telling that individual behavior you are studying, okay, good, but you should also study that individual behavior is because of social setup. It is because of, for example, if someone is shouting in the classroom, psychologist will come and inquire and ask why you are shouting, what made you to shout, and he will write a report and he will go. Anthropologist will come and talk why you are behaving like that, but you should not behave like this. Why? Because this is classroom. In the classroom, these are all the behavior should be there, but you are behaving against it, so you are wrong. These all things will be told by anthropologist. So anthropologist is guiding the psychologist, that you are studying individual point of view. It is not only the individual point of view, it is not only the individual behavior, it is also individual behavior as well as social setup behavior, cultural setup behavior. In this setup you have to be like this only. ఇలా కాకుండా ఎలా ఉన్నా కూడా తప్పే అని చెప్పేది ఎవరు? Anthropologist. And finally, anthropology found solace in psychology initially, but because of its dynamic nature, now psychology is finding solace in ante comfort. Initially, anthropology was part of psychology because of its dynamic nature. Now, psychology is part of anthropology. Solace means comfort. Initially, anthropology used to take comfort in psychology, but because of its dynamic nature, psychology itself is taking solace in anthropology. So hence anthropology evolved. How it evolved? Difference is there. Whereas sociology, This is the difference. What you understood by the diagram? Initially, anthropology was part of sociology because of its dynamic nature. Sociology, anthropology both became distinct disciplines. Two different disciplines. Whereas anthropology is part of psychology initially. Later what happened? Psychology became part of anthropology. This is the difference. Draw this diagram. Rough diagram. Got it online? The question will be like this. Write about the relationship between anthropology and sociology. Write about the relationship between anthropology and psychology. Relationship of anthropology with life sciences. Relationship of anthropology with life sciences. How anthropology is related with life sciences. What is life sciences? What is the meaning of life sciences? What constitute life sciences? See, understand. Life sciences, wherever there is life. Life is there in three things. In flora, fauna. Biology, zoology. Plant life, human life, animal life. In these three there is life. Hence called as life sciences. So life sciences talks about evolution of man. Biologically, life sciences talks about how biology, how zoology, means how plants evolved, how animals evolved, zoology, how man evolved. Life sciences talks about what? Biological systems, geological systems, man system. Whereas anthropology studies only about man and his relationship with biology. Man is relationship with animals. Man is relationship with the plants. Man-centric will be in anthropology, whereas in life sciences, tree life, animal life, man life. We will be understanding completely in science point of view in life sciences. In anthropology, we will be understanding from science point of view and art point of view. Means culture is art or science? Arts. Culture is arts. Means ilane undali, ela untaru, manushulu ela untaru, marriage, family, these all are part of art. The life sciences mainly deals about what? Biology and zoology. Their existence, their survival and its evolution. Their survival, their existence and their evolution. Plant life evolution, animal life evolution, plant life survival, animal life survival, plant life evolution and survival and existence, everything. Whereas anthropology in its evolutionary sciences deals about evolution of life forms, either plants, animals or human beings. Means man-centric in the evolution of man, how plants helped, how animals helped for evolution of man. Again, life sciences mainly talks about biology and zoology. Wherever there is life, it is studied under a subject called as life sciences. Life is there in plants, life is there in animals, life is there in human beings. So when we study about that aspect, it is called as life sciences. Whereas anthropology is all about what? Studying about man, man's evolution, man's existence, man's survival, in relationship with plants, in relationship with animals. Now we are comparing both. What is the relationship with life sciences with man? What is the relationship of man with life sciences? First, life science, relationship of life science with anthropology. Science ante objectiva, subjectiva? Science ante. Science ane English word ki meaning. Yes. What is the meaning of science? Yes. Like science and objective or subjective? Friend. Me venka. T-shirt. Science is objective or subjective?
Depends on consideration.
That is subjective again. Objective means what? Subjective means what?
Objective is we are aiming something. That is objective.
Objective understanding, subjective understanding. Multiple choice question paper, objective question paper or subjective question paper? Objective. A, B, C, D, A will be there. Means what? Scientific exam. Science means objective. A, B, C, D, A means correct, means A is correct, done. A plus B whole square is equal to A square plus 2AB plus B square is equal to what? Objective. Wherever it is, A plus B whole square is the same. Wherever there is a clarity, wherever there is certainty, wherever there is fixed formula, that is called as science. That fixed formula is called as what? Objective. Subjective. When they change according to the situation, when they change according to the circumstances, it is called as subjective. Our answer writing is subjective. We will change our writing. It will change. Today, if I might write different answer, it means meaning, words which I use might be different. Tomorrow, the words which I use might be different. So, that interpretation, that environment which will influence me is called as subjective. Life sciences, science is there. So, life science is subjective or objective? Objective. Science is there, no, life sciences. Padamlone undi science. Science is what? Objective. Means fixed. A plus B whole square means science. Life sciences are objective. Anthropology is what? Life sciences is objective, whereas anthropology is subjective as well as both. Science will be there and art will be there. When science is there, it is called as objective. When art is there, it is called as subjective. So anthropology is subjective as well as objective, whereas life sciences is objective. Life sciences is completely science. Anthropology is science plus art. Life sciences is completely scientific in nature. Anthropology is scientific plus understanding. Life science deals about plants and animals. Anthropology studies about primitive man and his relationship with animals. Like what? Hunting for food, hunting for dress, hunting for tools, defense against wild animals, and later domestication. He maintained a similar relationship with plants for food, medicine, agriculture and domestication. So, what is the topic? So, there is a relationship between anthropology and life sciences. For example, man in the process of evolution, he maintained relationship with animals for food, hunting, for dress, for skin, for making tools, bones. So, he was in relationship with animals. He was also in relationship with plants. It can be for food, it can be for cultivation. So, in anthropology was also in touch with life sciences with respect to animals or plants. Similarly, in life sciences there is only biological and geological studies, but in anthropology there is biological, geological and sociological. Life sciences is only about what? Biological and geological, wherever there is life. But anthropology, we will also study about science which is called as biological, geological as well as his behavior, his way of living, its social setup, how the societies are changing, in which society how man is there, which society is telling to behave like this. So sociological setup is also there, sociological science is also there in anthropology, but in life sciences it is only about biological and geology. Two differences you understood very clearly, that I understood. That is, life sciences is objective, anthropology is subjective. Subjective as well as objective. Life sciences mainly deals about biology and geology. Anthropology deals about biology, anthropology and social studies. Anthropology, in the process of understanding the evolution of man, we came to a conclusion that man was in relationship with plants, man was in relationship with animals, which means man is in relationship with life sciences. But life sciences is completely science, life sciences is completely objective, but anthropology is objective as well as subjective. There is influence of life sciences on anthropology in understanding the evolution of life, but there is no influence of anthropology on life science. If I want to know about the evolution of man, I should also know about evolution, how plants evolved, how animals evolved. If I understand how plants evolved, how animals evolved, then I can also analyze how man evolved. So there is influence of life sciences on anthropology. There is influence of life sciences on anthropology. But Anthropology influence is not there on life sciences. Why? Because life sciences only deals about biological and geological. It won't bother about man perspective. It won't bother about man per se. It will not bother about man culture, man society. So anthropology influence is not there on life sciences. See, first what came? Life, marine life, few plants, then animals, later on human being. So in the process of understanding the evolution of in the process of understanding the evolution of plants and animals, there is no case of man. Why? Because man evolved later. So if I understand from man's perspective also, I cannot understand life sciences. Why? Because life sciences is there from old. Why? Because plants evolved first, then animals evolved later on evolved. So man's influence on life sciences is nil, but life science influence is there on anthropology. Why? Because after plants, after animals, then came man. So I can understand man evolution if I have command on biology, if I have command on geology. But if anthropology command is there, I cannot understand life sciences. Why? Because life sciences came more earlier. There is difference with respect to evolution of discipline. Life sciences evolved first, then anthropology. First biology came, then geology came, then came evolution of man. So chronologically also first life sciences came. Who came first? They will influence. So life science will influence anthropology, but anthropology cannot influence. So from this we are concluding that life science influence is there on anthropology, but anthropology influence is not there on life science. Conclusion. The development of life sciences made anthropologists and physical anthropologists to understand how the evolution occurred so the command on life sciences made me to understand. I am anthropologist. The command on life sciences made me to understand, initially plants came like this, marine life came like this, animals came like this. From that clue, I can understand how man evolved later. So how later can influence earlier? So later cannot influence earlier. So hence there is no influence of anthropology on life sciences. But life sciences influence is there on one-sided here. So life science is more older. Life science is more powerful than anthropology. But study of man is absent in life science mainly from social point of view. That is greater thing which is present with anthropology. Life sciences is more objective and anthropology is objective as well as subjective. So here we understood. Here we understood about the relationship between the life sciences and anthropology. So diagram. Life science influence anthropology. Anthropology influence life science? No influence. Yes or no? Correct, na? Got it? So today we understood about anthropology, subject, meaning. Without meaning, how much you learn, people will ask you the basic questions only. What is anthropology? What is the meaning of anthropology? What is the scope of anthropology? How anthropology developed? 4 questions we got. What is meaning of what is anthropology? What is the meaning of or same? What is anthropology? What is the nature of anthropology? What is the scope of anthropology? What is the development of anthropology? Then 3 questions we got. Relationship, anthropology relationship with sociology, anthropology relationship with psychology, anthropology relationship with life sciences. Overall 6 questions. Meaning of anthropology, scope of anthropology, development of anthropology. Yes, Daniel, tell me what is anthropology? Cultural, behavioral, social, environmental, each and every aspect of man, if we study, it is part of anthropology. Yes, what is the scope of anthropology? Malli mere t-shirt. What is the scope of anthropology? Historical, specific, historical, comparative, and we will be understanding from evolution point of view, historical. We will be understanding each and every aspect of man, hence holistic, and we will be understanding comparatively. We will be comparing. When we compare, we can understand easily. Comparative approach. Yes. What is the development of anthropology? Mainly development of anthropology means you have to tell 14th to 17th century what was physical and moral basis. 18th and 19th century what? Social and cultural. And from 20th century it became, in that way anthropology has been evolved. Yes. Relationship of anthropology with sociology. Cap. Louder. Koncham sound. So anthropology, sociology studies groups. Anthropology study groups and individual. Next. Huh? Sociology is more suggestive. Anthropology is less suggestive. Next. Sociology is generalized, whereas anthropology is generalized as well as specific. So, because of its it became separate disciplines. Relationship of anthropology with psychology. Yes. Relationship of anthropology with psychology. Very good. Individual as well as groups as well as individuals. Relationship with life sciences. Yes.
Life sciences is about studying of plants and animals. Anthropology is about studying of plants, animals as well as human beings. And life sciences is objective and anthropology is subjective and objective.
More. So chronologically life science came first. Why? Because life science studies about evolution of plants and animals, whereas the anthropology evolved later. Why? Because it studies about evolution of man as well as social aspects. So there is high chance of life science influencing the anthropology, but anthropology influence the life science is none. Tomorrow we will discuss about relationship with medical science, relationship with earth science, relationship with humanities. Humanities means polity, economy and history. First, I want you to understand the terms. I want you to know what we are going to study, rather than studying and coming back. ఓహో ఇవన్నీ చదవబోతున్నామా మనము. Culture personality school we discuss, which is called as psychology. We will study culture person in detail. It is 2 hours of class. So what we will study in culture personality school? Behaviors. Behaviors of what? How cultures will be influencing the individual's behavior. Psychology studies only behavior, but anthropology studies about behaviors and how societies are responsible for influencing the behaviors. Write down question. Write the meaning. From tomorrow I will give printouts. Write the meaning, scope. Write the meaning, scope and development of anthropology. And the development of the discipline anthropology, question mark. See, listen. In UPSC, you will be given 3 questions, 10 marker, 15 marker, 20 marker. For 10 marker, you will be given 2 pages of space. For 15 marker, 3 pages of space. For 20 marker, 4 pages of space. Now you don't worry about time management, but as I should tell, I am telling you. For 10 marker, it is 7 minutes. For 15 marker, it is 9 minutes. For 20 marker, it is 11 minutes. Don't worry about time. You can improve time after 20 days. Now you focus on content. But 10 marker 2 pages, 15 marker 3 pages, 20 marker 4 pages. Question is what? Write the meaning, scope and development of anthropology. It's very simple. So first I will write, remember that. Try to bring one anthropologist name. Aristotle himself is an anthropologist. Aristotle coined the term called as anthropology. Anthropo means man, pology means study about man is called as anthropology. He is called as father of anthropology. Then side heading. Question lone undi. Manaki, our skill depends upon how many side headings are there we have to identify. So how many side headings are there? 3. Meaning, scope, development. కొంచెం భరోసా వస్తుంది 3 అంటే 3 ఏదో ఒకటి నింపేయాలి. ఫస్ట్ సైడ్ హెడ్డింగ్ ఏంటి? మీనింగ్. సో వాట్ ఈస్ ద మీనింగ్ ఆఫ్ ఆంథ్రపాలజీ? ఆంథ్రపాలజీ స్టడీస్ అబౌట్ మ్యాన్ ఇన్ ఆల్ ద కాంటెక్స్ట్ ఫ్రమ్ సోషల్, పొలిటికల్, ఎకనామికల్, కల్చరల్, ఎన్విరాన్మెంటల్ అండ్ బిహేవియరల్ ఆస్పెక్ట్స్. ఇట్ ఈస్ ద స్టడీ ఆఫ్ మ్యాన్ ఇన్ ఇన్ఫినిట్ క్యూరియాసిటీ ఈస్ కాల్డ్ as ఆంథ్రపాలజీ. ద ఆంథ్రపాలజీ టచెస్ ఈచ్ అండ్ ఎవ్రీ ఆస్పెక్ట్ ఆఫ్ మ్యాన్. ఒక డయాగ్రామ్ వేస్తారు. Then what? Scope. The scope of anthropology is మళ్ళీ సైడ్ హెడ్డింగ్. అందులో సబ్ సైడ్ హెడ్డింగ్. హిస్టారికల్ స్మాల్ ఏ, కంపారిటివ్ స్మాల్ బి, హోలిస్టిక్ స్మాల్ హెడ్డింగ్ ఏబిసి. ఒక్కొక్క చిన్న పారాగ్రాఫ్స్ వస్తాయి. ఒక పేజ్ అయిపోతుంది అప్పటికి. నెక్స్ట్ పేజ్ డెవలప్మెంట్. The anthropology was been coined by Aristotle, but however the development of anthropology started from 14th century. Small a. 14th to 17th century, it was been believed that anthropology studied about physical and moral being of man. It was just limited to biological evolution of man. Small b. But later, from 18th and 19th century, social aspects and cultural aspects was added to the evolution of man. So it gave a social understanding and cultural understanding to the man. But finally in the 20th century, the anthropology has become multidimensional in nature. Why? Because behavioral aspects, social, cultural, economical, environmental, all aspects were being added. Hence anthropology was being developed as an multidimensional in nature. Conclusion. If anyone want to know about the man in holistic way, the only discipline which helps is anthropology. So you should keep in your mind 2 pages. What all things you have to keep in mind? First, understand the question. Second, identify the side headings. Third, 2 pages ఎక్కడెక్కడ ఎంతెంత రాయాలి ఒక్కసారి. ఇది ఇంత వస్తుంది. అప్పుడు ఏమవుతుందంటే ఆ 2 pages ఫిల్అప్ చేస్తాము, కన్ఫ్యూజ్ అవ్వము. ఎందుకు అనంటే సైడ్ హెడ్డింగ్స్ ఉన్నాయి. సో దట్ వీ కెన్ ప్రాపర్లీ రైట్ అండ్ వీ కెన్ కమ్. 3 things you remember. Understand the questions. How many side headings are there? How much space per every side heading? How much space per every side heading? Write the answer and submit. Take white paper. Tomorrow we will give printout. Online people, one telegram group link we will be providing. You make in PDF format and post your answer there. I will be evaluating and I will be sending. If anyone want how to prepare, how to write good answers, you can come to the academy. Offline students or online students, phone number also will be given to you with respect to mentorship and all. My number will be given. Anthropology mentor number will be given. Anyone you can approach.